Wibbly Wobbly, this game is not my property. What do you mean? It's totally my property. What do you mean it's not my property? Sony nowadays. I mean, it's both Sony and Microsoft, but yeah. And Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo. Yeah, no more physical games. I mean, that is a discussion, isn't it? The consoles have been trying to move towards that. Like, very blatantly trying to move towards that. I mean, come on. Sony's PS5 has a entire version since its launch that hasn't even had a physical disc drive. Of course, they're trying to move away from physical games. Same with Xbox. Same with Nintendo. They've all been trying to. I mean, it's just that one, people noticed that I think Sony just made like an actual announcement, but it's been in the user agreement. I think it's been in the cheaper to encourage people to buy digital. Yep. I mean, they can artificially set the price for physical also. It's just they have a bigger profit margin on digital.
Already? Up, and away.
But I mean, you have PlayStation with the PS5, they have the digital version only. The Switch 2 has in the user agreement that you don't actually own the Switch 2 that you physically bought, that the Switch 2 you have a license for that physical console that they can brick at any point in time if they feel like you've broken their user agreement. And who reads the user agreements? All that legalese, nobody understands any user agreements they have to sign off on.
Something. This is the substation. Careful now. It's packed with horrors.
It doesn't help that, you know, like, yeah, you have some people like, oh, we canceled our pre-orders of digital games because we want to buy physically. Well, it doesn't help that 35 million pre-orders for the digital version of Grand Theft Auto 6 just went through.
That's the stuff. Oh yeah.
One of those things people always say, vote with your wallet, and people have voted with their wallet that they want digital. Now, that being said, I too think it's very shitty and crummy that they make that claim. And I think it's very wrong.
That's the step.
That's why you see whenever I can, I tend to buy on Steam, not on the PS5.
Forget to pick something up? Nope.
I actually believe I actually would believe them having more sales on digital. I do believe that is actually true. Especially day one. Because if you're going to play at a midnight release, stores aren't open at midnight anymore, and stores only carry so many copies of physical games, just logistically. So if you're going to play midnight release, you're buying digital. I remember as a kid getting a couple midnight releases on games from GameStop.
Yeah.
But like, let's be real. If it was true, people are buying more physical than digital stuff, then GameStop wouldn't be in the crisis that they have been in for years. GameStop's been going the way of Blockbusters because digital's taken so much away from physical. Or been so much more popular than physical. Because you say that, I'm trying to think the last time I bought physical, it's been a few years. Like, I'll only buy a game physically if it's on sale enough. Like, if it's a game I want to pay full price for, typically I'm not going to have the patience to want to go to the store. Because I'm going to be buying it day one. So I am buying the digital version. Because I was going to say, like, PlayStation exclusive games I buy a I'll buy a physical copy of. But the last PlayStation only game that came out that I recall getting was Rise of the Ronin, and that I bought digitally because I got it day one. I pre-ordered it and played it the moment it came out. But I totally agree with the sentiment that no, if you buy a game, you own the game. Period. End of story. I think the whole concept, and I think we need legislation on this. I very much think we need legislation on video games in terms of you cannot have a user agreement for something that somebody has to sign off on after they've made the purchase. If you buy a car, if you buy a house, something that has paperwork attached to it, you have to sign off on all the
Stretch our
paperwork
legs a little.
before you finalize the purchase. Video games are the only thing, and they're the only thing because Congress is full of people who, yeah, you have to clearly, obviously state everything before final sale. And video games don't follow that rule. Um, it's just that Congress is slow to legislate. That, like, honestly, if I was of healthier body, I would bring it to my state governor and be like, hey, there's this user thing that's going on that Congress has never legislated. And I think that they need to.
Sorry, I'm on my way.
Because it's one of those things, like, as a voter, I'll tell you this, as a voter, if a congressional or a governor or a president, not that a president would
Best stay alert.
make a fighting point of this, have that be a fighting point, that things you buy digitally are yours to own, or things that you own, and that they would push legislation for stating such, that would be a very, very strong point that would make me vote for that person. Regardless of party affiliation. Merlin, don't. I'm awake as late as I woke up as late as I did. Like, I woke up today at like 3:30 this afternoon, and then like I was feeling tired after dinner, and so I went and I set my alarm, like I'll take a few hour nap, and I took a few hour nap, and then Marlin climbed onto my stomach as I was sleeping, and my 3 hour nap turned into a 5 hour nap. Games and consoles. I would say games and consoles, and the reason why I would say consoles included is because of Nintendo.
That's the stuff. Nope.
Yeah, media in general, so movies, TVs, songs. Yeah, because PlayStation just had a really
Sorry, I'm
big
on my
thing
way.
also where they lost a license. Apparently, they didn't have a thing. Their licensing agreement wasn't an ownership. It was a just a temporary license for a movie catalog. And when the license expired, they didn't renew it. So people who bought movies through the PlayStation app lost those
Mask of
movies
doom. I'll
and lost
destroy them.
access to watch them without warning or word. Yeah, I agree 100% with that.
This one won't be easy to take down. That's the stuff. Nope. Stop it. I need more blood. They sure don't make it easy, do they? Say, mind if I ask, do you have any family? Forgive me, I didn't mean to pry. Don't feel obliged to answer.
I feel like the story's going to be kind of predictable in this game, by the way.
I lost my mother and my twin sister, so sometimes I wonder about people. My mother was sacrificed for Idris's seal. She gave up her life to save our world. Noble, but still. In my bloodline, twins are deemed a bad omen. Our tradition requires parents to, choose between them. My mother refused because she was brave, and we were banished to the frontier as punishment. She was an incredibly strong woman, and loved us both equally. Not that it stopped Lise and I from being at each other's throats day in and day out, mind you. One day, we had a fight that estranged us for years. We didn't speak or see one another until I was stationed here. The Medigan hunt was a lead-up to the resealing. I thought it best to join up, and as it turned out, twins think alike. Lise had the same idea. She wanted to talk, but I couldn't swallow my pride. Then, on that fateful day, she was enveloped by the resurgence, trying to save me.
Yeah, this game does a poor thing about
to talk was just
explaining terms, like what a resurgence is, what a revenant or a revenant hunter are compared to the first game.
But it's too late now. Sorry, I know I'm just prattling on now. But anyway, I just wanted you to know. Keep hold of the precious people in your life. Some mistakes are irreversible. We should get back. We wouldn't want the others to think the horrors got the best of us.
This game doesn't do a good job explaining terms like that. Or like why you need blood, which was a big part of the first game.
Good. Still operational.
Like, I don't question it because I played the first game. Hey! Place called Ambrosia. Never has poor implications.
Oh yeah. That's the step. You left something useful.
Ooh, new weapon. I do enjoy in this game. This game has a lot going for it, a lot going against it, which is interesting. Like stuff combat wise and well, not so much. It has good and bad points combat wise, this game. The system UI I really enjoy in this game.
Nope. Stay focused.
The lack of staggering enemies makes your hits feel not the best. We'll just say that. Like outside of the great sword and the great hammer, your hits feel not impactful.
We can take a breather here.
The enemies just power through them too much.
That's the step. Too late now. Let's take care of this.
That and I've only fought one actual boss so far. Like, we have this cool epic music here, but this is still a regular enemy. You know, like, that's still a regular enemy I fought a dozen times already. They just gave it, like, an extra ability to it. And I gotta say, that's been, like, the biggest drawback to this game.
The substation is secure. We're returning to base now. Whew. So much for all of that. You know, to tell you the truth, I don't think I could have handled them alone.
You know, it's not even like a...
But we can't ease up yet. The real work starts
It's not even
now.
like a Neo 3 or an Elden Ring situation where you're fighting
So, let me fill you in.
a boss multiple times, like... Well, you have like you know, the giant or the Elden Star beast and stuff like that, where you might fight
The
it 3 times.
gaps
That's the whole
are getting
game.
shorter.
These are legit
Damn.
just regular enemies you're fighting, not
The Gula
constantly.
bloodline is no damn bargain. Every once in a while, my powers
Like,
go rogue and I lose all
it's
control.
the soldier Godric.
It's terrible.
It's every
Like
single
that
boss until
The
you fight a
Madigan mess was
resident
as
boss.
good as done. One blow would have finished the job, but at the worst imaginable moment. This eye had other ideas. I froze, unable to strike the Madigan. It took that moment to escape. The Madigan detonated itself at the heart of the city, triggering a resurgence. Just as the shockwave was about to consume me, Lise appeared. She took the brunt of the blast in my place. When I came to, the city was underwater, and my former comrades, they had become horrors, changed beyond all recognition. I don't know how long I can keep suppressing it. But I do know this. As long as I have 2 legs to walk and 2 arms to fight, I will give everything I have to keep the city's hopes alive. Wipe that worried look off your face, will you? Honestly, I'll be fine. After all, my true love won't let anything happen to me, right? Shall we return to base?
Oh, my character is completely emotionless, blushed. How sweet. Ivy, the ones that generate blades of steel, erupts countless blades from the ground, piercing a wide area. Ah, this is the one I wanted. This is the one I've been looking for. Hold right trigger to create a marker on the ground. Oh, they changed our functions though. Release the drain the marker's location. Positioned as desired. Equipping this gel minimally increases defense.
Lizard.
Take a look. But hello, both Karasu and Chicken Boy. Chicken Boy is stopping by for a hot minute. I'm sure he'll go check his followers and then leave. How you doing, Chicken? I love that one. I've been doing alright. You know, some days better than others. Some days I'm too sick. Some days I might oversleep. But you know, we're making it through. Taking it one day at a time. It's your first time seeing Code Vein 2? Is it good? It's worth picking up if you get it on sale. It has a lot going for it, but then it has some stuff that work against it. I really like the system mechanics in it.
Want a piece of that? I'm game.
Is it anything like the last game? Combat style is more refined than the last game. The story has nothing to do with the last game. Like the whole thing between about revenants and revenant hunters and resurgences, this game hasn't explained what any of that is. It just uses those terms as if you know, but revenants and revenant hunters are different than they are in the first game. It has no tie-in to Code Vein 1. But that way, it has zero tie-ins to Code Vein 1. In this game, you travel between the present and the past, which is cool. So stuff you do in the past will affect the present to a degree. Like, not too much. But, like, if you do some... Sounds sick. It's not like it is if you play Lords of the Fallen with the Twin World Traversal. Lords of the Fallen, I think, did it the best. I'm really looking forward to Lords of the Fallen 2, which comes out next year. But, like, instead of having some type of an invisible wall or something on the world map, which I haven't encountered that, but they'll block sections off that is blocked off because of a catastrophe that happened in the past. So you alter the past, then the catastrophe doesn't happen. Like, in the first area, people talk about repairing a bridge, but a catastrophe happened and the town was wiped out. And so when you travel into the past, you stop the catastrophe from happening. And so we return to the present, the bridge was built, which then gave access to the second area. The game has only had, yeah, it's just a little. The biggest downside to this game has been that there's only been one actual boss.
The Mask of Gula. I'll destroy them.
There's only been one actual boss, and not every jail, you know how you keep bringing out the scythe to parry enemies, that is specific to the scythe. The scythe is the only one that gets to parry like that. And I really liked how the different styles of jails had different parry windows in one. They took that out of this.
You never disappoint.
So, like, the Ogre Claw, the Stinger, the Sword Field, and the Bats, none of them have parry frames attached to them. You have this thing called the Mutant Inspirator, and that lets you parry. You have different shields. You can actually block attacks in this game, which is nice. There's a couple of quick dodges, which give you a ton of iframes while you're using. You have or you can equip a parry, or the scythe is a parry. The others are just charged up attacks that deal damage and restore your Iker. So I think that's kind of a miss. At least for me personally, that's kind of a miss. But yeah, I am doing well, Karasu. We can play Merlin tonight for me starting the stream late. Yeah, it seems like there's very few actual bosses in this game.
What a tranquil ride. Keep your eyes peeled. There's a horror preventing us from mapping the region. Let's take it down. That's the stuff.
So as you saw, the way you uncover sections of the map is by finding those weird vine things and killing them. Instead of adding map fragments, it's like you have access to the full map, but it's being obscured by a specific enemy. Yeah, there's enough combat-wise and system-wise that I'm gonna beat this game. I just wish that there were more bosses to it.
Nope. That's the stuff. Be sure to savor it. I'm not.
Between that and the game isn't clear about what attacks are parryable attacks or not. That so far has been a lot of
For a while.
guesswork
How do you feel?
in that regard. Like, in my personal opinion, if a game is going to have certain attacks be able to be parried, but not every attack is an attack that can be parried, they should have some type of visual indicator to let me as the player know what attack cannot be parried.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
And I feel like that's a pretty basic thing. And the fact that the game doesn't do that is a pain point.
Can't wait to hit the road. A ride this peaceful has me nearly dozing off. That tire you out any? Waste not, want not. Oh yeah! You can eat that, you know?
Like, even right there, um, that enemy, that big gorilla thing, is a regular enemy. I'll see it as a boss at some point. And that's not a prediction, that is a certainty. And what that tells me is the studio just didn't take the time to create bosses. They'll have empowered enemies like this thing, which this thing you can only really deal damage to it when it is exposed like this. I didn't have stamina. Didn't have stamina to finish that off. But once you know how to fight it, you can just burst that thing out even. They still have that you gain perks from blood codes, but it's not that blood codes have spells attached to them, or abilities attached to them that you're learning. Is that you master the blood code, and then you have to talk to somebody, and then you get an augment based on the blood code you mastered. That being said, the blood codes more fundamentally, I feel, change your playstyle in this game than compared to the first one. Like the blood code I was just using specialized in attacking from behind and attacking quickly using multi-hit weapons and attacks. And it stops you from being one shot from attacks as long as you have part of that blue health bar. And then you have this bloodline based on the girl who's my party member right now, who her deal with her bloodline is your attack power with your jail. So, like, my attack power with my Reaper scythe will be empowered, and I'll have faster stamina recovery. And my weapon attacks will regen Ichor, But if I attack while I'm already at full Ichor, I'll take damage. So it wants you to spam out weapon arts more. I think that gives me enough. Yeah, so now whenever I attack, you should be seeing that I regain Ichor per attack. If I have this set up properly. Which I do not. It says I need a strength and mind margin of 8. I thought I had the strength margin there. Maybe it has to be greater than 8? Because I know this Ancient Hunter's great sword.
Now we're on the same page.
I know that works. There we go, stronger heals. There's one of those in the main city. Over here. I just can't get to it right now. I am curious if I can get to that building, though. Or to this. That's the pathos. I should be able to get to that. Maybe. I'm gonna go over there because that's gonna be heals, and then up to here. And then if we go to here, that should be another buff. Those are these things on the world map that are region specific called pathoses. Where in the upper left hand corner you'll see there's Claire, Armand, and Egbert that increase your stats while you're in the region.
Love the way the wind rushes by.
I hate the field of view of the motorcycle when you're on the motorcycle, by the way. I don't know why they chose this field of view that's so limited. Not a fan, though.
I'll destroy them. Oh yeah. That's the stuff.
Has it been 1.5 years? Thank you for following me for 1.5 years there, Taurus. It has been a journey. Been over that. And don't worry, at a certain point, my stream will grow, and your continued viewing will pay off in the end. So this game doesn't work in terms of like strength intelligence builds. Like it kind of does, but you, like I said, you get a benefit from mastering every time from every blood code you master. I will hydrate in just a moment here.
Let's collect this now. Nope. On your feet.
I goofed.
There. Now let's go. You really toughed it out. Your turn. Here.
So like your attributes you get in this game are based on the blood code. Code Vein and Guardian are the same universe. Only Code Vein 1. That's why I hate that Code Vein 2 didn't continue the story of Code Vein 1. Code Vein 1, that was the big twist at the end of Code Vein 1 when you beat the game. It turned out that it was connected to the Guardian universe. But Code Vein 2 has no tie to Code Vein 1. As far as I can tell, it doesn't. If it does, that hasn't been revealed yet. Because you gotta remember, in Code Vein 1, the whole thing about Code Vein 1 was that you were in a, like, sealed off or almost a quarantined city. Or zone, per se. And that's not the case in 2.
That's the stuff. Oh yeah.
Yeah, nowadays it's very counterintuitive. Nowadays it's very counterintuitive not to have a sequel title be the same. And that's what I mean, like, remember the first game, it was all about needing to find a source of blood. And that whole concept isn't even a thing in this game. That whole thing where if an enemy's just looking at you, you're flicked by a stat effect, that's some horse shit. That is a horseshit mechanic. Sorry, not sorry.
Strong enough. You are back with us. Thank goodness.
See how the weapons are fused to the wielder, kind of like God Eater, except more extreme.
I wish I had something to munch on.
No. I'm just saying no that they're not fused to you. They just don't show up on your character. They weren't fused to you in 1 either.
I'll let you do the driving.
The thing that is fused to you is taking blood from other revenants.
Nope. Don't let a single one escape.
Like, do they explain why you're able to materialize and dematerialize your weapons? Not at all. But this whole concept right here, this doesn't work for me. The whole enemies having a status effect aura. And I don't know how I feel about the system mechanic that the game has where, yeah, when the enemy wails like that enemy was called a succubus, where when the enemy wails that they ignore your ally and solely focus all attacks on you. Because then it just becomes a, watch the enemy and just dodge for a while. Which that kind of doesn't really... I don't know, I'm not vibing with that. Like, when the enemy wails, it's like, okay, just play passive because because there's no...
None of that.
Because there's no... That's what I was talking about with the invisible walls, by the way. When I said that the game has some invisible walls, it's like that right there. I lost my train of thought, by the way. I don't know what I was about to say, but I lost it. It'll come back to me. Words or something, yeah. He's using words. They were even starting to complete thoughts and sentences. Don't mind me, I was just having a bit of a senior moment right there.
Always up for another ride. Sorry, I'm on my way. Oh yeah, that's the skunk.
Oh, yeah. So, like, they have had some invisible walls, and I'm not sure why they bother. Because, you know, they could easily have there be a,
Always count on you, my beloved.
I just hurt myself to do that visual attack. They could easily have it be that it's cut off due to something in the past. And they just don't. So you get a bit of lazy writing in that regard.
Oh yeah.
Right. They could easily have there be a lore implication.
Nope. Nope.
I feel like this is going to be like a side dungeon, and this might be a side dungeon. Apparently I've been here. Oh, I've probably been there in the present. The cat on mech, yes!
You're dead.
Is definitely a cat inside a mech. 100% that's what that was. Yeah, I want to get into that building.
Feels great. A ride this peaceful has me nearly dozing off.
Look, a sunblight vaccine. Something I could use in real
Your
life.
eyes peeled.
I have a feeling I'm going to go into an invisible wall again. So I know if I go that way, that's an invisible wall. They've kind of just made a circle, so we don't have access to this section yet. Because of reasons. There's something I can pick up over here, though. And there's something I missed over here, but we have to be in the present for here. Because that's a story quest related to somebody else. I'm not sure if there's anything over here. I can take a look. This was a side area we went through. I really wanted to get into here to unlock that. Kind of annoyed I can't. Maybe I could do something stupid and jump off this ledge.
That was a nice ride.
After we pick up some non-dubious mushrooms. You see, like, because there's certain lore things that are just fundamentally different in this game than Code Vein 1. Like, in Code Vein 1, your characters didn't eat because the only sustenance that they used was blood. And the whole idea of hunting down the last remaining humans to gain blood was, like, a point of contention. And that's not a thing in this game? Remember they had the blood echoes in the blood plant to give blood so you didn't need to rely on humans, and that was a resource that they were trying to strive to get and maintain and struggling with. That whole story arc isn't a thing in this game.
I sense trouble. Be on your guard.
I made my... Okay.
Sorry, I'm on my way.
I think I made my way into this side dungeon. Not the way the game intended me to. Because usually there's a bonfire fast travel point right where you enter. I gotta not do that visceral, because that deals damage to me with this blood code.
Tread carefully.
I gotta remember not to do that, because yeah, overflow deals recoil damage. It's not that when you're at full Ecor, gaining Ecor deals damage, it's any overflow deals damage. So I'm not going to keep using this bloodline, because that's going to kill me.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Out of my sight. You're dead.
Great Hammers feel so good to use.
Let's see here. A missile. Want me to whip up something real quick?
So this is where I was trying to get to. So we just unlocked the fast travel point here. I want to go the other way through this building and see where that leads out.
Sorry, I'm on my way.
But if there's a weapon type you guys want to see, let me know. We will use it. If you want the list of what the weapon types are, I can show you the list of the weapon types. There's only been one weapon type I haven't cared for. And I'm not sure if it's just that I don't care for it or I haven't found a weapon in that category that I like yet. Good morning, Thalen. Hope you are doing well. You like the rune blades? I haven't found a rune blade I've cared for. I like the concept of the rune blade. I hate that so much. The venom vaccine doesn't even actually do anything. That whole cone of vision applies the status effect build up really quickly. I don't like that mechanic at all. It does not feel good or fun to interact with. I'm addicted to bonk. Dual swords don't feel like they have that much of an impact. I was using dual swords with a different code earlier. They just, yeah, the heft of the hit needed to have any type of an impact on the enemy makes dual swords not feel great. Or katana, like, just
Something
the
feels off.
medium-sized weapons in general don't feel as great.
Too late now. Let's take care of this. Nope.
What sucks is I'm doing this with zero heals. So it's gonna kill me. I'm gonna lose this fight.
Nope.
Although I might be able to abuse the mechanic of the cheat death when your ally gets back up. If I can abuse that, then we might be in business. It's dead. No, that's an easy enemy to fight. That's an incredibly easy enemy to fight. All you have to do is bait out it opening up its chassis so you can deal damage. Like when it's closed, you just stay at medium range, and at medium to long range, it'll open up that chassis, and then you just close in and use a weapon art. And that just further shows I've entered this mini dungeon backwards, because the checkpoint to fight the quote-unquote boss right there, I found after the boss fight, not before, which meant I was supposed to enter here from this side.
It won't budge, slacker.
Which meant I wasn't even supposed to be here yet. It won't budge. I wasn't even supposed to be here yet. That's fantastic. Bonk too strong. Bonko P. Yeah, I do have a +6 bonk.
Oh, yeah.
Huh! The exploding guys can deal damage to their allies. Good to know. See, I like being able to stat every swing actually causing the enemy to react. So yeah, I am going to love to be addicted to the bonk in this weapon in this game, very much so.
Oh yeah. Come
Although I do want to switch out the Reaper. The only reason why I haven't switched out the Reaper is that it's a +6 Reaper. I could switch out for the Stinger though. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. And then switch this for this. So now I parry with just backhand the attack away. Drop something for me, you stupid monkey. Thing was all being grape ape on me, and he doesn't even give me any loot.
You don't find these every day.
Oh look, curved swords. Maybe I'll like how these swing. That's the other thing in this game. Like, just because they're twin blades and whatnot, dude, I gotta show everyone power bonk. They do sometimes swing differently. So I may like this attack pattern more than the other ones I was using. I don't care for the abilities that it has, so I'd have to completely swap out its abilities. Oh, I like its strong attack. So these swords would just be pace your distance and then spam strong attack out. That's how I would use those. Then these are my other +6. But as you can see, like, I'm not gaining any proficiency right now with the C rank, so I'm not going to use Jose since I don't like it as much. But this gives me the biggest stat attributes. Because as you master the blood codes, you just get more enhanced version of that same blood code. Now the more enhanced versions just give you more stats. Offer Paris a pathos of Adelheid, the Holy Maiden. Vitality and regen use boost. So more HP and stronger heals.
Watching you go to work.
So did that. I do want to find the front entrance of this building. If I can. And also, did I go here? I don't think I checked that out.
Love the way the wind rushes by.
Oh, see, we found the hot springs. And we learned recipes. You've rested the hot springs and just magically gain recipes. So the fan service is important in this game, guys. You cannot underestimate the power of the fan service in this game. It teaches you crafting recipes to just enjoy the view. It's like, we don't just goon, we goon with a purpose.
Best stay alert.
Okay, I'm not sure how it was so hard for me to find the entrance to this place before.
Time to stretch our legs a little.
I'm not sure why this was so hard for me to locate. So yeah, when you level up, you don't gain attributes. It increases your overall health, stamina, weapon
your eyes peeled.
attacks, weapon art attack power. Like, your overall damage and stuff gets leveled up, but your actual attributes don't get
Liking your
affected
newfound power?
by levels. That is actually something completely different in this game.
This could shape up to be an interesting find. I assume it's slow for safety, but I could do without this weight.
Wait, I missed that comment. Did you want me to keep using the hammer? Tell me to show him power the bonk? Or was that just for earlier?
Let's have some fun while we're at it. What a tranquil ride. That tire you out any? That's the stuff. Oh yeah. Out of my sight. Had enough? Who's the real threat?
But as you can see, like, even this bayonet isn't causing any type of stagger buildup.
You can eat that, you know?
So over here somewhere, there should be typically the little blue diamonds. They indicate some type of a health boost. Typically. Might be at the ground level. Come on, I want to jump off. He's gonna make me run all the way around. Come on, game. Fall damage isn't a thing.
Sorry, I'm on my way.
Fall damage only exists if you believe in it. See? Health boost. Now, how long until I remember to actually use them? Isn't that always the question? Oh look, it's a new and old character. That guy looks evil. I don't trust the old man.
Sit tight. I'll be with you in just a minute. Praise be to everlasting life. The sunken city welcomes you. Both of you.
Praise be to everlasting life.
I also don't
You're
trust
early,
him.
Gobo. Have you come to make excuses for your failed assassination attempt? 'Twas an admirable try.
I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about, Lady Jose. I have merely come to correct shall we say, a regrettable misunderstanding in the last complaint you sent. It simply couldn't wait.
Is that why you brought a judicial magistrate with you? Must be a pain in the ass to be brown-nosed by knaves, Valentin.
Come now, that's going too far, Jose. Voda House has heard your complaint. You claim Sir Gobo abducted several citizens from your domain. Therefore, you wish to press criminal charges. Sir Gobo, of course, denies these allegations. May I ask you to present the details of your grievance?
At the site of the abductions, I detected traces of Formay. Prints only my eye would catch. You may be interested to know these were enshrouding Formay, which are used solely by one faction. The Association of Revenant Hunters. A delightful organization you happen to serve as the chairman on, Gobo.
Ah, but that can hardly be called evidence, Lady Jose. Are we to believe your claims rest solely on your own testimony? The world would simply be full of criminals, not to mention our prisons. If people could be tried on such spurious grounds, what a waste of time this all is. I humbly ask that you reconsider this complaint.
Quite true. My saying so can hardly be considered evidence. Which is why I've committed all of my manpower to analyzing said Formay remnants. And soon enough, I'll have the proof to nail you to the wall, Gobo. Just as I did with those assassins. I don't care about your schemes or your politicking, Gobo. But kidnapping my people? One way or the other, you will pay. And that's a promise.
Is this about to be a boss
That's
fight?
quite enough, thank you. You have both presented your cases. An official trial will be held at a later date.
Why isn't Valentine
This
even
case is to be
acknowledging my
considered arbitrated.
existence? That's what I want to
Understood?
know. Had the whole thing with
You are
Noah,
both hereby ordered to refrain from further debate on the topic.
who is his friend, and he
Sorry
doesn't
you had to sit
even.
through that charade.
Valentine
Don't let
doesn't
that
even
be too much.
acknowledge my
That
presence.
said, thank you for the show of support. We should discuss what comes next. Come along to my quarters. I'll gather everyone there. You do remember the way, yeah? Just up the elevator from the hall.
Welcome.
I feel like that was a missed opportunity.
Come again.
Find everything you wanted?
That was a big missed opportunity, I feel like.
Find something? Great. I think we have everyone here. The sunken city's power grid is back online, thanks to the hunter. Now we can address the real monkey on our backs. We'll need help, so let me fill you in. As I once mentioned, our city is host to a plague of troubles. The most recent raid was just one of them. But one issue takes precedence above all others: the polluted water supply.
This is going to be the
Otherwise,
change.
No one will be able to live here, human or revenant.
Guess who's to blame? The same culprit that waterlogged our city in the first place. The Resurgence. We're not through the woods just yet. At the epicenter, the fallout remains in an active state. The Resurgence was caused by the Medigan, a vestigial spore that spews rot. Ground Zero is now her lair. Simply put, the Medigan is a vicious horror. If we want to put a stop to the pollution, slaying the Medigan is priority number 1.
The epicenter of the Resurgence was submerged until now. Consequently, we couldn't explore the region.
Thanks to you, our substation's up and running again. Now we can use our drainage facilities.
Hey, you know what this means? We're finally ready to explore the epicenter.
This task entails grave peril. It means venturing into Ground Zero and subduing the Medigan remnant. I want to save the survivors. Each and every one who calls this place home. Can I count on your help?
Because the
Really?
water is completely polluted in present day.
Much obliged.
So, if you purify the water
No one
supply,
here
then
is
that's
going to
probably going
die
to open
on
up
my
something in the
watch.
present day.
We'll make this happen together! Thank you for the help. It's good to have you. Come. The epicenter of the Resurgence is south of our location. Look for the broken pylon.
Okay, so this place, I was like, I still do explore there. That's what I'm supposed to go for the story purpose anyway. Sunken pylon. This is going to be a health boost. Why didn't I pick that up earlier? I don't think I got to that health boost earlier because that's leading to a new zone. No. That should be part of this zone. Let me
Looks
see if I
like
can...
exhaustion is taking its toll on you.
I'm curious if I can go grab it. I noticed I was restricted to this zone while I'm in the past with Jose. I just want to see if... Okay, so these cemeteries are still here. They probably shouldn't be in the past. Let me travel to underground storage here. Wrong fast travel point.
Let's try a different floor.
I still didn't get the special piece of loot out of here.
I wish I had something to munch on.
Like, before I return to the present, I want to check the place out. But for now... the south. Oh, that's higher than the elevation I'm currently at. I think I see the way up. This game does feel very rewarding on its exploration. I gotta give it that. Although I say that, I can't actually tell if I'm accessing spots they don't intend on you to access, or if I'm just, you know, figuring out the intended way. You see, like, this is an invisible wall right here. And this is an invisible wall. Like, this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good. To have a random invisible wall like that. That should not be a thing in games nowadays.
I must say, I didn't expect to bump into you here. It's good to see you well. I must say, I trust I can rely on you to prevent those two from getting carried away. All life on the frontier is as precious as it is fleeting.
Hey, we meet again. Keep this between you and me.
I have never met this Oscar guy.
The way you stepped up without a moment's hesitation? Hunters with your courage don't grow on trees. You and I should spar sometime. In time, perhaps we'll share the battlefield as mankind's protectors.
I might fight you as a boss, probably, Oscar.
Well met. I see you're a revenant hunter. And yet, you don't belong to the association. How peculiar. Nevertheless, our doors are open to all hunters. I am convinced that hunters are the greatest hope of humanity. Both now and forever.
Since we've been unable to investigate the epicenter for so long, there's very little info.
Our drainage equipment is working without a hitch. You won't have to worry about water getting in your way. Leave the details to us. You just focus on what's in front of you.
Solving our water problem will open up a lot of opportunities. I hope you succeed.
I never bothered to actually run through here in the past, and since this was a dungeon in the present, it wouldn't hurt to, you know, take a peek. Collect loot, apparently. Okay, so that was actually nothing. But if I go out here and we go to the west, and I jump down, there's another pathos down here on this side. And any stat boost is a good stat boost, right?
That's the stuff. Oh yeah. We belayed them. Nope. You're dead. Nope.
Oh, hello. Energy cleave. Well, that sounds fun. This is a really big open area for there to be no enemies. Oh look, there's an enemy.
That's the stuff. Nope. Out of my sight. Sorry, I'm on my way.
See, when it doesn't have 12 other enemies aiding it, the thing goes down like a punk. But I also just shot it in the face. So, you know, bayonet OP.
Don't forget I'm back here. Now this is riding. Don't let a single one escape. Oh yes, that's the stuff.
I may have wandered into a trap. You know what this combat kind of reminds me of? Is Strangers of Paradise, except your allies are actually useful. Here we go. Prayers of the Pathos of Carbon, the Star. Max stamina and mind boost. There we go.
That's the stuff.
Now that I got that out of the way, we'll keep going the way, normal way.
Watching you go to work.
I guess I could head south?
Keep your eyes peeled.
Well, you
The
just run
terrain
over
is an
enemies.
indication. The epicenter of the resurgence ought to be dead ahead. We're in for a difficult search, I think. But if anyone can handle it, it's my one and only, right? That's the spirit, darling dear. Now let's get a move on.
No, eventually she'll stop making it a tease and just, own up that she's waifu number 2. Because clearly this is a harem building game. You guys couldn't tell from the plot.
I sense trouble. Be on your guard. I'm surprised it hasn't fallen apart.
So what's the over-under that we're going to find this so-called key and then do what the big lady told us before and have to return to the present and then fight Josie in the present? Or are you going to prevent Josie from even entering her slumber and just change the present?
What's wrong? No.
Damn incursus! It's an incursion? Hey, snap out of it! Stay with me! Hey!
I don't get it, Lise. How could you try to kill yourself?
Because I've lost control so many times already. I'm terrified of hurting you, sis. But I won't let that happen, even if I have to.
So this is because of me?
When did I ask you to die for me?
Jose, I didn't mean...
Save it. I'm moving out. That solves everything.
No, please don't! Sis, wait! Sis, it's been so long. Decades.
I have nothing to say to you.
Wait! There's something I want to give you.
Didn't you hear? The operation's about to start. Stand by in the background.
No, not now. Jose, run!
can't believe it. Those were my memories. Did you create this place? You are a bottomless well of mysteries, aren't you? I'd expect to be embarrassed, even humiliated, to have my past looked at. But strangely enough, with you, I'm not.
Of course you're not,
I
Jose,
didn't
because you're
want
my
Liz
wife.
on the battlefield. She had a heart of gold. Seeing people get hurt tore her apart. But because of me, she vanished into the resurgence. To this day, I wonder what she tried to give me.
You see, like, this memory thing that we're in right now is called a resurgence, but then they're referring to the resurgence as if it's something else also. So, kind of confusing in that regard.
Hey, are you all right? Can you hear me? So, this is the incursion. I'd only ever heard rumors of it before.
Oh, this is an
It's said to
incursion,
be
not
very
a resurgence.
rare,
Okay.
occurring only between hunters and revenants who are especially compatible. In one tragic case, I heard a hunter equipped a revenant's heart, only to die from the backflow of blood. But I've never heard of a revenant's memories latching onto a host's mind. You're a strange one, all right. In any case, I'm glad you're not hurt. The last thing I want is for you to die from my blood. It would be such a shame. From here on out, tell me right away if you feel any symptoms, all right? We don't want to be caught off guard.
We can take a breather here.